Hi. In the second section about algorithmics, we will talk about variables. The first question is, what is a variable? A variable is a memory space, whether local or remote, where the program stores a value or something more complex, like a data structure more complex than a value. Clearly, the variable's value is expected to change during execution of the program, although constant variables are also a possibility. Some examples: the number of followers, the number of people who follow you, the number of views of a video on YouTube, the number of likes, those are all integer values. Another example is a student's average, but it would be instead a real number. In fact, in a computer, it is stored as a floating point number. You can also have all the classes' grades. It can be an array of arrays, a database, or more complex representations. For all this, I would advise you to watch Bryce's sequence about data organization. And there is a certain number of more complex data structures. I won't go into details. I'll just give you the names so that you can do some research. Those are hash table and doubly linked lists. Normally, a variable needs to be created. That depends on the programming language. Some of them actually create one automatically as soon as a variable is used. It can be assigned, so a value can be input, like 0, 45, etc. It may be modified from pre-existing variables. A regular assignment is I gets I plus 1. That means considering the value of I, add 1 to it, and rewrite on I's memory space this new value. So if I equal 3, after that instruction I equal 4. A variable can also be the program's entry, which means a function can have a certain number of arguments, which then become variables also. There is a certain number of variable types, which means that when you declare a variable, it is given a type that is. What kind is it? Is it an integer? Is it a chart? It can be an integer, it can be a floating point number, so a real value. It can be a chart, in that case it must be specified what is in the chart. It can be an integer chart, or a floating point number chart. In certain programming languages, the chain of characters can be considered as a characters charts, but that's not always the case. It can be pointers, that means an arrow, creating a link towards a memory space. Or it can be composed structures. For example, 2 rails forming an interval, or a chart, and the length of this chart. We can have a composed structure made of a simpler type regroupment.